Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back once again to our fantastic channel. Today, man, we're absolutely going to show you two incredible projects that are now 90% completely finished. The impressive C14 here and the other truly remarkable project. I honestly don't even know what more to say about just how much this particular car has dramatically changed. You've already seen a little bit of it, and today we're going to meticulously show you all the intricate details. So let's go. Leave a comment below about what you want to see. And if you want more from inside the shop, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button to help us out. And let's go, man, because today the next one is insane. Man, look, let's start with the F1000, okay? This car came to us with some awkward wheels. It was a car that was kind of undefined. We didn't really know where it was going, right? Whether it was going to be low or high, you know? So we decided to make it tall. Because of the car's style and the way it's set up, the mechanical part. So I'm going to show you here because we haven't shown much of this car yet. But it was a car that came to us. It's already with a mechanical upgrade. So this engine got the 2.8 kit from HSD itself. It got a little turbo kit and intercooler. We're still working on developing the intake for it here. It had a really big filter. I think the guys over there couldn't find one that fitted properly here. So we're going to make this part of the intake in stainless steel, put the filter on, and the car up here in the front is pretty much ready. But man, it's a really fun car to drive, you know? Really fun to drive. It goes really well for the kind of engine it has, right? It's honestly a really awesome car. So regarding the mechanics of this car, I'll show you the chassis part later, even though we've already shown it in the video where we started working on its paint. But it's a car that got a really thorough underbody wash, right? It's a car with a really solid structure. Chrome grille, chrome bumper. We did a 3-inch lift on it. Here we're using 15-inch wheels, 8-inch width, 5 by 139 bolt pattern with 33 by 12.5 R15 tires. We're kind of picky about tires, so it took us a while to find this Yokohama. And when we found them, they were right next to our house. We just went over and installed these tires. I think they turned out really nice. We're going to keep the F1000 badges. And down here, we made a little sticker that will say 2.8 turbo diesel. Here we're using American truck mirrors. I think they fit the car better now. It used to have these mirrors when it arrived, but now they match the project more, these tall mirrors. And we made a few adjustments to them and put them in place. I think they fit the project perfectly. We took off the black door handles, right? And installed the chrome ones. We polished these parts here to keep the car's exterior consistent. There's a detail I'm really picky about. Look here. We had to paint this part here, right? We did the painting here. So I like to take everything apart and paint it as if it were original. So we remove all the parts, clean everything up nicely, and then reinstall them again, right? Man, the finish turns out really nice, really clean, you know? There's nothing smudged, no masking marks, nothing. I'm kind of picky about a lot of details, as you guys already know, right? As for the taillight, we kept the one that came with the car. It's the national taillight because it's an F1000, right? There's no reason for us to change the car so much and turn it into an American F150. There are already a lot of those in Brazil, right? So we kept it to keep it as an F1000. Here, the emblem will also get the badge here, 2.8 turbo diesel. For the rear handle, we were going to put a chrome one, but we couldn't find it in chrome. So we kept the blue one. I think it turned out really nice. It kept a consistent color scheme for the car, kept it clean, right? Here, we also didn't use that silver plate, the brushed one like the American version, right? We kept the original emblem here and we only added the Ford badge on the back. Normally, the F1000s come with a big Ford logo here, right? So we cleaned that up and just put the original F1000 emblem there with the original Ford badge on this side. So, man, there's not much else to say about this car, right? But you guys followed us here on YouTube on the channel and you saw how much work it took for us to get to where we are now, right? The cool thing about this, man, is that we spent about 40 days working on this car and it's already pretty much finished, right? There were some major changes in the suspension build and so on, but nothing too crazy, and the paint job here as well. Man, this is something that it's not easy to do. It looks really simple, okay? And it really is simple. But to get the stripe perfectly aligned, to have a stripe like this going around the car in Brazil today, which seems so simple, it's actually not easy, guys. It's not easy. That's why we're trying to do as much as we can in-house at the shop. What we're doing now is polishing her original windows, okay? She has all the original windows, so we're going to polish them and keep them. We've already removed both the rear window here and the side windows, right? The interior is disassembled, so we're going to finish up this part with the windows now. And then the car will go to upholstery to get the new interior done. Nothing's been decided yet, right? We haven't found a fabric that matches the project yet, but we're going to do something cool inside here to enhance the car as a whole, right? Let me show you something cool here too. Look, it's something I really enjoy working on, okay? Which is the lighting part. So this car, it only had the turn signal up here, no, down here. And here is the parking light, and there's also a small parking light inside the headlight, so we ended up removing that. Now, everything here uses dual filament bulbs, okay? So when you turn on the blinker, everything flashes here and here. The parking light, I really like working on these kinds of details. I think you can see it a little better here. It looks, man, I think it looks so much nicer with all this lighting working, right? We did this on the F250 as well, which is one of the next projects you'll see here on the channel. A gift has already arrived for it, and we'll show it to you guys later. So we also like to change some details in the lighting, right? We're also now adding a lighting feature. Let's call it the comfort module. We've already talked to you about this, right? And we're using it in these cars here as well, which is the interior cabin lighting, right? In the footwell area, there's lighting, and in the engine bay, not all cars come with this, right? But there's engine bay lighting, and now the new thing is the bed lighting. On the F1000 here, it's not finished yet, but I'll show you on the C14 how it looks when it's installed and working, because that one already has it up and running. So these details, man, I think for those looking for a ready-to-go car, which is the workshop's idea now, to take on these simpler projects like this one here, which actually isn't that simple, and for us to be able to deliver a complete car that has everything, that has comfort, that has safety, that has a nice finish, and that also has a layout that matches, a cohesive package, not something that's all over the place. So this type of project here is one that's going up for sale. So it's a car where we're going to finish up the last details, and it's a car that will be available for purchase. The C14 as well, speaking a bit about the new phase of the workshop. So it's this kind of project here. And we're also going to have Project 01, which nobody knows what it is yet. It's a project we're still keeping kind of under wraps. And a project like 02, which is the Silverado that we've already shown you here on the channel, those are the projects with a higher quality standard. Not that this car isn't high quality, of course it is, but this car doesn't involve any construction work. We have a lift, we have wheels, tires, everything with quality, but we don't have any major construction involved in this type of project. So it's a project that's much quicker, has the self-custom quality, is available for sale, ready to go, okay? It's a car that will leave here without needing absolutely anything done to it. And the other stage is the projects that involve construction work. Then you get Alcantara, a different kind of leather. You get premium materials, carbon fiber, fine wood, and even Kevlar. Man, that's a conversation for another time, okay? But that's it for the F1000. Later we'll come back with it to show you the interior, okay? We're still working on developing suppliers, and man, it's been really tough for us here in Brazil to try to do something at a high level of quality, you know? Whether it's painting, upholstery, electrical work, or even assembling a wheel. Man, it's really not easy for those of us who want something more detailed like this. Here's the F1000, a project that I think turned out really cool. Let us know in the comments if you liked it lifted like this, in this assembly style, right? Or if you preferred it lowered with lower profile tires. I'll be honest with you, we put on the Cooper tires here lowered, and it just didn't look good, man. I think it would need some suspension detailing here, and then it would start getting into more of a build process. So here it was relatively simple. I think it turned out great, and it's a level of project that's really popular in Brazil right now. A lifted truck, even though it's 4x2, right? It's not something over the top. It's something that's really trending, and there's a huge audience that really likes this kind of truck. I have to admit to you guys, I do prefer it lifted like this. Rather than lowered, I really liked it this way. Just to wrap things up for you here, okay? What still needs to be finished here on the F1000 is this little emblem, which is arriving for us today. These side stripes, okay? We're not going to put anything chrome, nothing at all. There will just be a little stripe here to separate this cut, but show it here. We used a specific tape for this, right? We even showed it to you in the video. Look, it's to make this as perfectly aligned as possible and not leave any little bumps in the paint. Look how it turned out. Look at how the paint line came out, right? So it's not meant to hide anything, okay? The little stripe we're going to use isn't to cover up any flaws, but it goes here to give a nice finish from the white to the blue, okay? So when that arrives, we'll install them here as well. We've finished the electrical part for the bed, the feet, and the lower section, right? Because we're going to have lighting on the underside as well. It's going to get a little step here, okay? Nothing major. It's going to get a small step here, and the interior and the intake. And it's a car that's finished, right? So we'll show it to you guys later. Drink water. And here, man, with a C14, it's a project that arrived. This car is pretty famous, okay? Because of its mechanical setup, there's a review of it on our channel from the very first day it arrived. We put it on the dyno, made a lot of smoke, closed everything up there. It's a really cool car, okay? Let me show you guys here, look. This car uses a 6-cylinder MWM Sprint engine with 2 compound-mounted turbochargers, okay? So there's a big turbo and a small one here on a 6-cylinder diesel. So it's a really cool, really robust setup, right? This car came to us pretty much completely stock, right? With the original wheels, hubcaps, Cooper tires and all that. And there were already a lot of cars built with this configuration, right? And we saw the Americans building low diesel cars with wheels, big exhausts, with a bit more of a sporty vibe, right? But I have to admit to you guys, man, the C10 isn't a car that's very easy to turn into a sporty car, you know? It has classic lines, it has a more vintage look, let's put it that way. And we changed a few details on the car to try to bring out a bit of that sporty side. Not exactly a race car, you know? Because we didn't mess with some of its classic features. We used, these wheels are new releases, right? From American Racing. So we put this set of wheels on it. 20-inch rims. We're using slick tires both in the front and in the back. In the back, it's a 315 tire. It's really nice, really wide. This car had a modification on the front grille. Come here, let me show you this. Look, check this out. So we have a front grille that we developed ourselves, right? Both the grille here, look, both this outer part and this rear part here, see? You can see it has a more open honeycomb pattern here, right? To give it a slightly different finish than what we're used to seeing on the C10, right? And the grille here was also made by us. We used the original C10 area and made a center section with the Chevrolet lettering, like the one on the hood. This LED headlight is a headlight that's pretty hard to find, right? We also import these parts when needed, right? So it's a really cool headlight. It doesn't blind people coming from the opposite direction. It has the DRL section here. Look, both the parking light and the internal blinker in the headlight, right? Low beam, high beam. We'll show you later. Actually, I'll show you right now, man. Take a look at how these headlights look, man. Here we have, this car has an issue with the headlights computer, okay? So the parking light doesn't turn on. The first stage of the switch isn't working. So we're already getting a new switch, which will turn the light on here. And only this middle light in the headlight, right? So man, the parking light will stay on here. We also put 2 terminals down here. So there's a parking light and blinker here, and up here as well, parking light and blinker. The headlight part, man, it's a really cool lighting setup. You can see that even though we're really close to the car here, it doesn't glare, right? It doesn't glare. It actually creates a really strong beam. You can look here at my legs. We can also take this car out for a drive at night so you can get an idea of how the headlights work. There are still a lot of people who have doubts and a bit of prejudice against LED headlights, right? But it's a headlight that actually looks really good on an old car too. So there you have it, the full headlight setup. And man, let's go, right? Look at how the front turned out, man, with these headlights, man. Check out how the front looks with these big LED headlights. We really liked it. We also did a lot of work on the interior of this car, right? We tried to make a partnership that just wasn't feasible, okay? It's not worth it for us to take on this kind of work in the shop, you know? So it turned out really cool, right? For the interior, we went with a slightly darker shade of blue, right? Part of the dashboard too, with a textured matte finish. Part of the seat here, let me just remove this so we don't mess up the new seat, right? It got a blue linen interior, right? Which also matches the car's exterior color, right? And the plush carpet is in a much darker, more sophisticated shade to perfectly match the beautiful paint color we're meticulously using throughout the entire interior space. This includes both the comfortable cabin interior and the spacious bed interior, creating a cohesive and elegant look. Here in the bed area, we came up with a new setup for assembling the bed. I think it turned out really nice. We used the same bed that you would use in a regular truck bed, but assembled in a slightly different way. So here we also brought in the same color as the interior. We've always liked doing that. Since the very first cars the shop built, we've used this paint scheme. The inside of the bed is the same as the inside of the cab, just like the inside of the engine bay, even though this car doesn't have anything in the engine bay, right? And here, man, there's already the detail of the lighting section. Look how cool this lighting section turned out here, man. We put it over by the engine so the driver can get out, load something, or do anything in the bed. There's a button here that turns on the light. When you don't need it anymore, just turn off the button. Nobody needs to know there's lighting in the bed. You're not going to drive around with that thing on, right? At least I wouldn't drive around like that. So there you have it. The bed area is lit up. I really liked it, okay? I think the result turned out even better than we expected. So here at the rear section, okay? This is a car that got a lot of bad press, or good press, about 50-50. Just like my friend Paquito says, right? Everyone's right, no one's wrong. Each person does things the way they think they should. We put a big spoiler on here to give it that We're sitting on the fence, you know? Standing right on the fence. Let's put something on so we can go either this way or that way. We put the spoiler on. So that's how we are. Look, we go one way, we go the other, but there's the spoiler. I think it turned out really cool. It really matches the project too. This view right here, man, for me is one of the coolest of this car. You can see the big tire, the wheel, and the spoiler. It looks cool, man. I liked it a lot. One thing I'm still unsure about is the bumper, but we're going to keep the original bumper. On this side, who here is a fan of diesels, of trucks, man, of those crazy pickups? The big exhaust sticking out here, man. The 3-inch pipe here blowing smoke out. This car used to have a big pipe here, look, going up here, a 5-inch pipe up top. We brought it down here now. Man, when you rev the big exhaust here, the smoke would come out like this, right in your face, man. And now we've lowered it, so now it hits your legs, and then the smoke rises up to your face after coming out of the big pipe here. So, it looks cool, man. It's more subtle now, let's put it that way, the pipe here, compared to the big exhaust before. Other than that, man, check this out. Here's a detail about this car. Look how cool this is. This is still its original paint, see? Both here and this front part of the cab and the roof, look, it's just metal, just bare metal, man. There's nothing else. See? So I think it's a car that within what we were able to change turned out really cool, right? It delivered a result that's really different from the others we usually see. Man, it's cool to have an original C14 or C10 and all. I think that's nice. But we already have a lot of cars built with the original wheels, with those Cooper tires lowered, with V8s, 6 cylinders, diesels, right? But I think we're here to do something different and set new trends. So here's our trend-setting creation on the C14, a 6-cylinder diesel.